Well, local entrepreneurs and spaza shop owners have lashed out at the Gauteng Department of Economic Development for failing to deliver on their promises, which were part of the Kasi Mnotho Fund. Now, the Kasi Mnotho Fund was aimed at offering strategic loans as well as empowering businesses to secure trading stock, equipment, machinery, as well as working capital. Now, this initiative was promised to entrepreneurs in an attempt to foster entrepreneurship as well as propel economic growth in Gauteng's townships. However, the intended beneficiaries say that they have not received any support or funding after they were promised payment by an intermediary of the department, which is the Family Tree Holdings. Well, SABC News senior reporter Kenny Mapanga has been covering this story, and she's with me in studio now to give me all the latest. Kenny, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Alicia.
So, Kenny, you have been engaging with local business owners as well as, of course, other business owners. What have you found and uncovered during your engagement?
Well, what we've discovered is that for some of these beneficiaries, it has been quite some time. So we're speaking about 4 years for some of these beneficiaries. How you identify these spaza shops across the Katlehong township, which we visited in the Ekurhuleni region. Most of them are painted green. So that is how it's easy to identify which are the ones that are the beneficiaries. However, looking at them, the shelving quite scarce, some almost empty, quite a stark contrast to this ideal of a thriving township economy. Really not boosting the economy at all there in the townships, and we're seeing that a lot of these spaza shops are practically on the brink of a collapse if they don't receive funding anytime soon. So we understand that they've done a lot of that paperwork. They have been told that they're beneficiaries. We understand that they also had to join an association, which includes fees, which is quite a task for a local entrepreneur that would need that kind of support, that boost, in order to have a thriving township economy. Because remember, a spaza shop is like a convenience store that's placed in that informal area and should be able to provide that community with that type of viable economy, so that they don't have to go out to your suburbia to get it, your supermarket. So you create a market for them to also thrive, especially because there's a number of those socioeconomic challenges. We're dealing with high unemployment, so people are coming up with their own ideas. However, they still need that support. So there is that shortcoming there. It's quite visible when you go through each spaza shop that for some time they have not been receiving the kind of support that they had hoped for through this program.
Talk to us more about what are some of the issues as well as grievances by the entrepreneurs as well as some of the spaza shop owners pertaining to this Mnotho Fund. What does this Mnotho Fund actually, how does it work, Kenny?
Well, this fund is expected to support and empower those local entrepreneurs. We understand that there is a fund that is 100 million rands, 50-50 from private and government, and those funds would be dispersed to the various entrepreneurs to support their various initiatives. Now, the beneficiaries allege or believe that those funds have been dispersed, and the conflict may allegedly be with the implementing agent. However, we have received a response from the Gauteng government, which paints a different picture. And they've stated here that the 100 million rand Kasi Mnotho Fund has not yet started dispersing. That means the funds haven't been touched yet, according to them. Because remember, when we spoke to the BOSA leader, Mmusi Maimane, he said that this resembles the Frida dairy incident, where we saw that farmers were supposed to be empowered. However, the funds went to people who were politically connected. So it started to resemble, I mean, we were listening to the stories of the beneficiaries. It started sounding like something like that, but the Gauteng government is refuting these claims, stating that applications are still being processed and that the funds are still available, and further emphasizing that the Kasi Mnotho funds have not been paid out yet. I also got the interpretation that this may be a grant, but it seems that the Gauteng government is describing it as a loan funding that has been established to fund township entrepreneurs. However, due to the level of informality in the townships, a program was established to train in the system so that they're able to qualify for the funding. Now, we know some beneficiaries said that they went through that training and they're still waiting for the funding. So there's still a lot of questions surrounding this particular fund and how it's supposed to benefit the beneficiaries, as well as how does the implementing agent or the so-called middleman play a role in the devastating effects it has had on the beneficiaries.
You know, very interesting that you mentioned that, Kenny, because the qualifying criteria is always going to be brought into question I mean, there has been some noise around, of course, the business operations of the Gauteng Economic Development Department, where they are seemingly seen to only be favoring those close allies as well as friends in terms of ensuring that they actually get funding. I'm just going to mention a quick example in the issue there of Lebogang Maile. They seemingly, that's what rumors are saying, advocating for the drip sneaker giant to be actually rescued. So do you know anything about what the actual qualifying criteria for these beneficiaries actually entails?
Well, it's not clear what the Kasim-Noto Fund expects of the local entrepreneurs. We know the kind of business that they are in, and we know that some of them said they've already trained. So it's not clear when they say that at some stage they'll be in a position to apply and probably qualify for funding, because the understanding we get on the ground is that they are the beneficiaries. So it seems now that they still have to apply. And then there's another note here from the Gauteng government saying that the fund has received a lot of applications that are being processed. There's no recorded approvals on the fund yet. So that paints a different picture to the number of beneficiaries that have come out to say we've signed all these forms. We even see certification on their walls as well as on their spaza shops, but we are seeing a very different picture being painted by the Gauteng government right now.
A very quick one, Kenny, we're out of time. So what plans are afoot by the department to address the issue, the ongoing issue of foreign-owned spaza shops? Because we know this is actually the root of most contention pertaining to the Kasi or township economy.
Well, here we're not speaking about foreign-owned spaza shops. This is about empowering the local economy in the township. So it was actually an initiative which would have seen a thriving economy, or at least that is one of the ideals which was hoped to come out of a project like this. However, you can see the government is saying that they haven't even dispersed yet, but there's still a lot of questions surrounding this fund, because we are not talking about people that have been waiting since last month. There's some that have said that they've been waiting for 4 years at this point. So there's definitely a lot of questions and a lot of answers that still need to come from the Gauteng government. We know that Build One South Africa has already started with their probes. They've written to the Public Protector on this issue to investigate it. There's also another request that has been made to the SIU. So a lot of questions still on this issue. There's stages. This is a developing story, and we'll try to get as much details as possible as to what could have possibly gone wrong with this empowerment fund.
Absolutely, Kenny. We're hopefully going to have you back in studio very soon with some of these much needed answers. That is SABC News senior reporter here with us in studio, Kenny Maphanga.